Hi, welcome back to this series. We are just going to round off the what if analysis right now. We have touched about two other subtopic within if what if analysis. Now, you remember that we started with scenario manager, then we proceeded to goal seek, and today we are going to round it off by just rounding off with a data table. So we're going to teach what is called data table. We're going to look at data table, how it's being used, and why it's much more advantageous compared to other method of analysis. Okay, so let us proceed to how to do it. So let me show you the end game. Now the end game is this: I want to create a table. Instead of doing it one by one, like just do it one profit, and you check what the sales will be. If you remember our last class, you check what the sales is going to be, then you change the profit again and check what it's going to be like that. That's what we did with goal seek, and then also scenario manager. We are creating different scenario, but now in this context you are going to create a mass. It could be a small table, it could be a massive table. Like this table we address everything at once. Like you create several I'm going to create several sales here now. For instance, I create several sales, maybe up to 20, but I'm creating like very few one, maybe like 5 here now. I want to see the corresponding profit for it. So that's what we are looking at now. Now, if you have 40, I've done this one right now, but I'm going to revert back to the initial process. So the first one, we got 40. If we sell our product $40, then we get $15 profit. Then like that. So it's actually what I've done. So that's what we have to look at. So what I'm going to do is I want to delete everything here right now. So you create a table. Now this is a vertical table, or let me call it a column table. A row table is the other way around. Like you have sales here, you have sales here, and then you have profit here. So their corresponding value for sales, you can say 40 or 50, then the other one is 70, like that, as the profit, for instance. So this is our horizontal table or row table, but we're not looking at row table. We are used to column table or vertical table, so let's just limit ourselves to vertical table. I try to make this video as short as possible, but make sure that I'm able to pass my message across in a concise and also comprehensive way. Okay, now the first thing we are going to do is this. Now we already have an existing analysis here. So when the good or the product was sold $40, we made a profit of $15. So what we're going to do is this. Let's make a reference to it now. So you can just write all the stuff here, so you know the one that's sales, the one that's profit. So what I'm going to do, instead of writing $40 here direct like this, you're going to make sure that it's a reference to what is here. What is here is a reference to what is here. It's not just the value. Just write reference here. When I say reference, that you say equals to, just click this place so that it's able to put F12 there, which is equivalent to $40. You understand what I'm saying now? If you press enter, it gives you the equivalent value of that reference. Okay, now the other one is profit. So what is our profit? You say equals to the same thing, then let it be the name, the reference of the cell, which is what F14. So enter like this, F14. Okay, so what I'm going to do is that, okay, you are going to give a kind of, we are dealing with what if. So we're going to say, okay, what if I sell it by $50? What if I sell it by $60? What if I sell it by $75? What if I sell it, I may not put dollar like currency symbol there, but just know what I mean. So what if I sell it by what again? Let's say $85. I'm just using a kind of values that they look very straightforward, but you can suggest any value there. So what if I say, okay, $100 now, then I said, okay, the other one is let's say $103. Okay, so even though I don't put dollar, it's dollar already. So if you want to put dollar, you know how to do that. You can go to this place and make sure that I can just select all of them and then put this dollar here, so you have the dollar value. So what do we do now? The next thing you're going to do is this. You can select your entire space, or the coverage that you want the effect to be enacted on, or effect to be impacted on, or you want to make a change. You want to fill in the vacant values there. So the next thing you're going to, after selecting the entire arrays of space, now you go back to the data. We're dealing with data analysis, so you go back to data right now, and then you go to what if analysis. When you get to what if analysis, go to data table, you click it, and then it's going to ask you row input cell. Your row input cell is this. What you are using as a row input. Sorry, we have row input, then we have column input. You know, initially I told you that this is a vertical table, so it's a column table. Column is vertical space, so it's column table. So we are not going to deal with row input, we are dealing with column input because this is a column table. Okay, so let's look at it now. So what are you using as your input? You know, the profit is the output. Here is the output, but this is the input. The input is is the sales, that is the input, and the profit is the output. Okay, so you're going to touch this place now. You're going to touch it. Anytime you see this going up arrow, just know that the up arrow means what? It means it's going to be, sorry, let me click it. It's going to be a reference. That is not going to be a value. It's a reference, like F12 or something like that, or F13. This is the name of cells. So whenever you see this arrow up, so I'll just click it. You click and select the reference. Okay, so I go here, I click it now. When I click it, I press enter now. When I press enter, you see that it automatically fill in the corresponding profit. You understand what I'm saying now? So what you're going to do is this. You can see the profit. If we sell it $103 right now, we're going to get a profit of $330. You just know that it's dollar. You know, I didn't put the symbol, but just know it's dollar. So this is just to do it once. You see this tabular, implementation now. That's why they call it data table. If you come to this place, that's why they call it data table, because it's arranged in form of a table. So instead of doing it one by one, you can just, in fact, you can draw a lot of values here, up to 20, 50, and check different scenarios and the corresponding profit for each scenarios. Okay, so that's where I'm going to stop right now. I just want to make it short as possible and also more explanatory as much as possible. So I'm going to stop at this place and keep watching over and over, and then you get used to it. You won't easily forget it. So it's called what if analysis. What if a scenario is created? What will it impact the profit? So that is that. So thank you and do have a nice day. We look forward to the next class.